back. This is the 8th video in my series on beginner acoustic guitar. Today we are talking about keys in music. A key is a collection of notes that serve as the foundation for harmony in a piece of music. What that means is we are going to look at a collection of notes and we're going to see how we can extrapolate chords out of that collection of notes. We are going to be looking today at a major key, a basic major key. There are different keys in music. We have our major key, we have our minor key, we have many different alterations of our major key and our minor key. But today we're just looking at our basic major key. If we know, which we do from previous lessons, our major scale, we already have a great starting point. We're pretty much there if we know our major key. Today we're going to look at C major. C major is unique because it is our only key, our only major key in music that has no sharps and no flats in it. It's all natural notes. We know that because in C major, if we play our C major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it gives us the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. That would be all of the white keys on a piano. Now what we're going to do to figure out the chords that correlate to the key C major is we are going to use our C major scale, and we're going to go through a very basic order of keeping a note, skipping a note, keeping a note, skipping a note, keeping a note. We're going to alternate keep, skip, keep to build 3-note triads, right? We know again from previous lessons that a triad is our most fundamental form of a chord. From there we can build on top of triads and expand triads to make them larger chords like 7 chords or 9 chords or 11 chords, etc. But we're going to start with basic 3-note triads. So if I start on the first note of my C major scale, which is unsurprisingly C, I'm going to keep that note. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the next note of the scale, which in this case is D, re. I'm now going to keep the third note, do, re, mi, C, D, E. I'm going to skip the fourth note, fa, which is F. And I'm going to keep the fifth note, which in this case is G. So that leaves me with these 3 notes, C, E, and G. Do, mi, sol, do, mi, sol. Those are the 3 notes that build up a C major chord. And we can see that because from our first note to our third note is a major third, do, mi, do, mi, do, mi. And then we have a fifth in here, do, sol, do, sol. So that gives us C major, C, E, and G. Now, we shouldn't be surprised by that because if we are in a major key, our first chord, our 1 chord, our tonic, just another name for that, is going to be a major chord, right? Because that's our home base. That is our starting point. That is the note or the chord that we are going to constantly be resolving back to. So, unsurprisingly, C major is our 1 chord. Now, there are 7 notes in a major scale, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What that means is there are going to be 7 chords in total in our major key. Our 1 chord is C major. Perfect. Now we're going to start on the second note, which in this case is D. We're going to go through the exact same process of keep a note, skip a note, keep a note, skip a note, keep a note. And what that is going to give us is this. D, F, A. Well, the notes D, F, and A, that's a root in this case, a minor third, and a fifth. So we know it's going to be a minor chord. That gives us D minor, which means C major is our 1 chord, and D minor is our 2 chord in C major. So now we've got 2 chords. Let's start on the third note. Let's start on mi. Do, re, mi. We're going to start right here. C, D, E. We're starting on E. We're going through that same process. Keep a note, skip a note. Keep a note, skip a note, keep a note. So now we have this. We have E, G, and B. Do, mi, sol. So we're kept a note, skipped this note, which was F, kept G, skipped A, and kept B. So that leaves us, again, with E, G, and B. What that gives us is a root, a minor third, and a fifth. That gives us E minor. So E minor is our 3 chord in the key of C major. So far we have C major, we have D minor, we have E minor. Now we're going to start on the 4th note. Do, re, mi, fa. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, D, E, F. We're starting on the note F. And we're doing the same thing. We're just going through the notes of our C major scale. And we're going to keep a note. So we're going to keep F, skip G, keep A, skip B, and keep C. So this gives us F, A, and C. This is a root, a major third, and a fifth. That gives us F major. So again, what we have is C major, D minor, E minor, F major. All right, so we just have a few more to go. Now we're going to start on the 5th note of the scale, which is G, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to keep G, skip A, keep B, skip C, and keep D. That gives us Do, Mi, Sol, Do. A little high to sing now. That gives us G, B, and D. Those are the 3 notes that build up G major. And again, we can see that because that's a root, a major third, do, mi, do, mi, do, mi. When I'm singing these, I'm singing them in relationship to whatever note we're on, right? If I was singing the solfege that was attached to C major, that would be sol, ti, re. But I'm just singing these using solfege in relationship to whatever note we're starting on, just to make it easier to hear that that's a major third. Do, mi, do, mi, do, mi. Do, sol, do, sol, do, sol, do, mi, sol, do, mi, sol. So that's just to clarify that a little bit. So that gives us G major. That is our 5 chord. So we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major. We got 2 more to go. Now we're going to start on the 6th note of our major scale, which is A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, D, E, F, G, A. Same exact process. Keep a note, skip a note. Keep a note, skip a note, keep a note. That's going to give us this. A, C, and E. Do, me, sol, do, me, sol, do, me, sol. That gives us a root, a minor third, and a fifth. That gives us A minor. All right, we got 1 more chord to go. So far, our first 6 chords of C major are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and now lastly, we are going to start on T. We're going to start on the 7th note of the scale, which in this case is going to be B. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we are going to keep a note, skip a note, keep a note, skip a note, keep a note. That gives us the 3 notes B, D, and, Do. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, T, which in this case is B. So keep, skip, keep. That gives us B, D, and F, okay? That last note's a little funky. The reason I say that is because all of our other fifths so far have been perfect fifths, right? They've sounded like this. But that's not what we get, because in this case, if we start on B and we played a perfect fifth, that wouldn't be F, that would be F sharp. But we got the note F, right? We got what's called a diminished fifth. We got a flat 5. So the 3 notes that we got there are B, D, and F, which would be do, me, say. Do, me, say, do, me, say, do, me, say, do, me, say. Root, minor third, flat 5. A root, a minor third, and a flat 5 make a diminished chord, a diminished triad. So that means our 7th chord in our key is going to be, in this case, B diminished. So the 7 chords that we extrapolate from our 7 notes in C major to make this key C major are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. Okay? That order is very important to remember. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Because any major key we are in, whether we're in G major, or we're in E major, or we're in F sharp major, or E flat major, the order of those 7 chords, the types of those 7 chords, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, is always going to be the same. Because the distances between the notes are always the same. Like we know on our guitar, if we play a major scale here, the distances between that and a major scale here, or that and a major scale here, are the same. They're different notes, right? We call them different things, but because the distances are the same between the notes, it's always going to be a major chord, a minor chord, a minor chord, major chord, minor chord, diminished chord. So if we are in a major key, another name for a basic major key is called Ionian, okay? That is the name for major, Ionian. If we are in Ionian, the chords that we get from our major scale are our 1 chord is major, our 2 chord and 3 chord are minor, our 4 and 5 chord are major, our 6 chord is minor, and our 7 chord is diminished. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next lesson.